Hello! It's December and it's time for another box review. This time it's the Bokksu, which, as always, is sent by Christopher. Thank you, Christopher! I'm still looking for someone to sponsor the December Sakurako box, so if you would like to do that and pick the character that I cosplay while I review it, you can check out my wish lists where you can do that. Now on to the box. This month's theme was Hokkaido Wonderland. And I'm just gonna say now, I was really impressed with this month. So first we have Morimoto Cookie Haskap. Now, I'd never heard of this before. Apparently there's a berry called a haskap. And, okay, haskap or blue honeyberry. And it's only found in Hokkaido. That would probably be why I'd never heard of it. Anyway, there was only one of these cookies, sadly. This was the package. And the texture of the cookie was kind of like a shortbread. It was like the shortbread I make, which I make pretty good shortbread. But it tastes like the berry. And it was really good. It's kind of somewhere between a blueberry and a raspberry, if that makes any sense. It was a little bit tart, which was interesting for a cookie like this. But it was really nice. I liked it. I ate it without looking at the description, and I was like, this tastes like berry, but I can't put my finger on it, and the reason for that was that I'd never heard of that berry before. So, blue honeyberry, that's a new one for me. White sesame dango mochi is the next thing. I've never really had anything that's like white sesame, except for like white sesame seeds, I guess. This says that white sesame is supposed to be lucky in Japan, so hopefully this will give me some good luck. I left these mostly in the container because it was cute. And yeah, they just have red bean paste inside, and they're covered in sesame seeds, and they're just little mochi, but simple, but they taste good. I like them. The texture's nice, they're nice and soft, and I like sesame regardless of color, I guess. I guess these are more normal sesame seeds to Western people. But yeah, I like it. It's good. There's nothing bad in this box, I swear. Okay, this tea was interesting. Hoshu tea. It describes it as having a subtle and smooth flavor, but the best way I can describe it, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it tasted like grass. This was like the greenest tasting green tea I've ever had. And there was only one this month, which is sad. I have this new thing that I do where whenever there's two tea bags in a box, I give the other one to my best friend who makes really amazing milk tea out of them. So I have them not only straight up so that I can review it, but she makes an incredible milk tea out of the other one, and then we both have that together. So sadly, no milk tea version of this, but yeah, I would have liked to see what that's like, because yeah, it was very green tasting. Snow mimosa cookie. This, it's a little weird. Oh, I think there was only one of these too, so I can't even show it to you. Oh no, wait, there are two, so I can't open it, and you can see it. So it has like little cheddar cheese bits on top for some reason. It's a rye cookie covered in white chocolate. There it is. Yeah, it has like little... You can't really taste it. It's really light and crispy. It definitely does have that, like, grainy rye taste. But it's really nice with the chocolate on top. And yeah, the cheese is decorative. You can't really taste it, except that it has just a little bit of saltiness on it. So yeah, pretty interesting. I really like the texture. I'd love to have more of those. Mmm. This was another thing that I'd never heard of. And another thing that has a really nice complex flavor. Yubari melon tokibi chocolate. So this thing is like... It's like, we've had ones like this before that were like matcha and stuff. It's like a little chocolatey thing, but it also tastes very, very strongly of what I assume is this Yubari melon, which I've never had before. Again, native to Hokkaido. That's why I've never heard of this. But it says they're prized for their liqueur-like sweetness, and it is just like this really nice, sweet melon taste. I wish I could taste a real one of these melons, like a fresh one, because this thing tasted really good. And I would love to see how much it tastes like the real thing, but unfortunately, since I'll probably never be in Hokkaido, I'll probably never get one. Sad. Tsukisamu Anpan Black Sesame Latte. Ooh, black sesame things. We all know by now that I love those. I feel like I ate half of this and left the other half. I will eat the other half after. This is another example of how Bokksu tends to do, like, they'll do simple things, but they do them extremely well. It's a nice soft outside, and then a nice smooth black sesame paste inside. So what is just a really simple little thing has an amazing flavor, an amazing texture. I don't know how they do it. Oh, this thing, speaking of. Sekase cookie. This thing is like, it's like ultimate shortbread. Shortbread crust with chocolate. It's so hard to describe it. But it just, I'll open it. There was two. Well, I'll try to open it. Maybe I can't. Oh, I can. I cannot tell you how soft this thing is. It looks like a shortbread. It just melts in your mouth. And it tastes so milky sweet. Hokkaido is like the biggest dairy producer in Japan or something. And they're like famous for their milk and their butter and all that stuff. And this thing absolutely tells me why. It's just indescribably delicious. And the texture is amazing. It's so buttery when it melts. I'm glad there were two of those. One would not have been enough. Again, with the milk theme, we have Hokkaido milk manju. Little, very, very soft bun, and it just has like a milky, creamy filling inside. It's a subtle taste, but it's really nice. Again, nice and soft and creamy. Everything is just, the textures on these are just so good. Now this thing, I didn't know what to think at first. It's vegetable arare grilled corn. Now I've had a lot of arare crackers in the Sakurako box, and often they're like hard as little rocks, and they taste good, but the texture leaves much to be desired. This one, it tastes very much like corn, and I like that roasty corn flavor. But it's like sort of hard on the outside, and then the inside is just light and crispy. And that's what I like in a rice cracker. Like, it's got a little bit of crunch to it on the outside, but then the inside is flaky. There were 2 of these. They're very tiny. I would have liked a whole bag, but c'est la vie, I guess. Speaking of things that had a whole bag, I think the biggest bag of anything in here were these rich Hokkaido butter chips. Now, we get these, I think they're Korean honey butter chips around here, and they're very good. But these were better. The chips were really nice. They were like a good thickness. They weren't super thin, but not super thick. And the butter flavor was awesome. I like butter. I like butter flavored things. I ate the whole bag of these at once, and then I kind of regretted it afterwards. Partially because it almost killed me, and partially because I was sad they were all gone. But these were great. You think butter chips would be just like, I don't know, it sounds not that exciting, but they're really good. Milk cream sandwich cookie. This one, where is it? It has cows on the package. I know that. And now I can't find, oh, here it is. It has this little field with cows. And it is just a sandwich cookie with like a milky cream inside. But it really does taste like good sweet milk. Like it all tastes so like sweet cream. And it's really nice. Like this box is selling me on the fact that Hokkaido has like fantastic milk. Normally I'm not a fan of milk, but this is just, you've won me over, Hokkaido box. And this is not milk, but this is another thing. How do you do this? Hokkaido Yoichi white grape gummy. Now I love white grape, or sometimes they call it muscat gummies. I'm not a big fan of that like purple grape flavor that everything is in North America. I much prefer like English currant. They do currant instead of grape, and I like that better. But white grape gummies, I love them. And these are the best I've ever had. They're soft. They're a little bit tart. And they do very much taste like amped up green grapes. These are the best. The hardest part of this box is going to be picking my favorite thing because everything is so awesome. Now this thing. Honey Okake Senbei. It was just one big giant senbei. And it was kind of like the arare, in that it was crunchy on the outside, but it was thick enough that it was crispy on the inside. And it tasted so good, and then I read this, and it says, every month the Bokksu team tastes over 40 snacks to curate the boxes. And this honey soy sauce rice cracker was top rated of them all. Am I surprised? No. And now I'm going to show my bias, because this kind of thing, they always just have like some kind of soy sauce, senbei, rice cracker thing in the Sakura Co. And I always feel like it's kind of a space filler. Like, it usually doesn't taste amazing, the texture is hard, it's just kind of there, and I'm like, yeah, it would be pretty good if you had it with tea, I guess. This thing was amazing on its own. It was this big, and it wasn't big enough. feel like this video is just like ripping on Sakurako too much. Because again, I gotta talk about this. So you may remember from my last Sakurako video, there was some karinto. And it was honey apple or something. And the flavor was incredible. It tasted so good. I've never had anything that's like not actually containing fruit, as far as I can tell, taste that much like a fresh apple. But they were kind of hard. In this box, we have Hokkaido Milk Karinto Crisps. And I don't think we've had any Karinto in this box. We had some in Sakurako last month, and there was another month they did one, and the texture was about the same. These ones, they're light and crispy, and they don't feel just like eating sticks that taste good. So I don't know how, but the texture is really good. And yeah, they're a little more plain flavored, because they're supposed to be showcasing the whole Hokkaido milk thing, but they do a good job of that. They just taste simple and delicious, and the texture is A+. Now, if we could put the texture of these with the taste of the honey apple ones, we would have the ultimate Karinto. But sadly, life is not perfect. This thing, I love the bag. Shimaenaga Milk Boucher. It has a bird on it. It's just this fat bird. And, yeah, the bird is apparently called a Shimaenaga. It's a small bird with fluffy feathers. And this was like a soft, fluffy cake, and it had Hokkaido milk cream inside. Like a lot of things in this box. And it was light and fluffy, and simple and delicious. And came in a super cute bird bag. And that's it. So, whole box, amazing. Favorite savory thing. I have a tie, because I can't decide which of these I liked better. This may have won if there was more of it, but this there was a whole bag, so I had a longer time to enjoy it. So maybe this one slightly came out ahead just because of the portion size. And, oh man, it's gotta be this cookie. This melt in your mouth, somewhere between cookie and chocolate, shortbready kind of thing. This was a life-changing experience. And it was amazing. But everything in this box was super good. Everything. Even the rice cracker fillers were really good. Anyway, that's it for another box review. Thanks, Christopher. Bokksu is great. I love it. And this month I will also be doing Sakurako and I think Tokyo Treat. So there's about another week left if you want to sponsor the Sakurako box. And after that I'll just be doing whatever. And Tokyo Treat usually comes close to the end of the month, so might have to do it after Christmas. I guess we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again later in the month for the other boxes.